Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and HBAR, so let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first and foremost, we are on Hedera's website. This is their grants section. There is currently 5 accelerators listed on here, the HBAR Foundation, which you guys are all aware of, the Hashgraph Association, which a lot of people don't actually know about, Lumos Labs, Launchpad Luna, and of course, Headstarter. Now these 5 are key to building out this ecosystem, giving out grants to projects that possibly could, bring in a lot more revenue, a lot more value, a lot more transactions, a lot more users, etc. Now, why am I bringing this up? Why am I talking about it? Well, in the last 8 months, we have seen a major move from Hedera. We have seen a lot more names added to the ecosystem. We have been seeing a lot more growth, a lot more marketing, and ultimately, a lot more eyes on Hedera as a major asset to crypto. We've been talking about this. We've been discussing this. For the last 8 months, we've been talking about partnership after partnership after partnership after ecosystem project launching day in and day out. I've been a part of AMAs. We've been listening in. We've been talking about a few things. We've been watching videos on projects. We've been listening to the Gossip About Gossip podcast. There's a lot going on. There's a lot moving behind the scenes. So let's talk about a few things. So HeliSwap. HeliSwap is a decentralized exchange on Hedera. This is one of the products of these accelerators that are a part of Hedera that are streamlining adoption, streamlining building, and ultimately bringing in more users to Hedera. Now, we do see them actually announcing this first Hedera event in Hong Kong. Why is this significant? Well, this allows for a lot more marketing and a global expansion of marketing as well in the Hong Kong area. This is the first ever Hedera event, so this is huge. And we do see down here, take a deep dive into HeliSwap and the Hedera ecosystem with us on the evening of August 24th. This is great. Again, when we start to see a lot more events around the world, community building, I told you guys, community growth and building is key during a bear market. We have been seeing Hedera flip the switch and say, hey, a bear market is not a time to be negative. It is a time to, really kind of hit the accelerator, start building, and utilize this time properly because it is going to pay dividends in the next major cycle. And we are seeing that happening right now. Also, we just seen an announcement that DeFi Llama, which is a major giant behind DeFi TVL tracking, just announced that they will allow for Saucer Swap to be tracked on their system. This is a 117,000 followed account. And when we go over to the website, we could actually see the TVL here in USD and even HBAR, currently sitting at about almost over $13.5 million, equivalent to about 167 million HBAR. Over on Stader, they just pushed a major update on their site. We are seeing 644.5 million HBAR locked in value on Stader as well, accounting for over 650 million HBAR in total, nearing that 1 billion HBAR milestone. This is great. I told you guys, right? Pay attention to the DeFi sector on Hedera as it does continue to expand and grow. We are also waiting for, live staking on the network, aka proxy staking on the website. That will be huge. I do think that will actually, really kind of push the TVL to even greater heights. And also, yes, Stader is getting in more on the DeFi sector. We actually do see over here, DeFi, this is new. You could actually add liquidity and swap on, Stader with Sauce, as well as HBAR and even with Galaxy. And you do see the APY here. You do see like 83.32% all the way to 178%. This is great to see. And again, a lot of TVL already locked in these pools. I'm telling you guys, the DeFi sector on Hedera is completely exploding. But this is not the only thing. We've been talking a lot more about what is happening behind the scenes with some of these smaller use cases. A smaller use case that we are talking about today is going to be Dropp with PrivacyCheq. So this actually just got announced yesterday, I think. Yeah, so 2 days ago actually now. We talked about Dropp in the past. Dropp is a micro payments service on Hedera that actually powers a few apps on the Hedera ecosystem already. But we've talked about them in the past, but we just seen a major announcement. So first off, we're here looking at this consentive program. Or I shouldn't say program, more so project. It gives users a reason to give their consent, getting paid. So when you go over to, for example, like Forbes or maybe even YouTube, whatever, and you see the, the cookie banner comes up and it tells you, hey, do you want to accept? Do you not want to accept? Blah, 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 whatever. Well, here we have, currently less than 10% of users give their consent to be tracked because it's creepy and we don't get any benefit from it. In simple terms, Consentive gives you a share of the profits every time your data makes money. Unlike cookie banner systems that have been ruled illegal, Consentive is a fully compliant consent management tool that honors your preferences and relays those preferences to each company that holds your personal data. That's right, you read that right. When we actually go look over here at this PrivacyCheq and Dropp CC partnership, this is allowing individuals to not only receive but also manage payments from ad networks for the use of their private data, giving control back to users. This is the Web3 way. This not only allows individuals to stop being products of these corporations, but start being customers. It allows you to really kind of give incentives to your data. This is huge. I've talked about this many times in the past around Web3 and why Web3 will be huge. And when we actually look at this down here, in an era of new privacy regulations that require user consent, ad networks must adapt to the crippling revenue decline of their old business model by increasing the number of users who give the privacy consent. You see down here, by integrating Dropp, the micropayments platform only made possible by the efficiencies of Hedera, this will enable a fully functional private data ecosystem based on small economic incentives, a win-win solution for both consumers and ad networks. You can learn more about this partnership down here. And yes, I did watch this video by the HBAR Bull. I do completely agree that everyone should go check this out. It is 40 minutes long, but it is jam-packed with a ton of great information. I actually pulled this image over here from that video, and I do think that everybody should definitely check it out. But also, when we really kind of look at this partnership, face value, it doesn't seem like a lot. Like, people will look at this and say, oh, it's whatever, I'm not really hyped up about this. But this is actually going to generate quite a bit of value and also volume in terms of TPS. PrivacyCheq and Dropp partner to streamline consumer micro earnings from private data usage. Ad networks to pay millions a daily of micro incentive payments to users' Dropp wallets. And we do see down here, today, PrivacyCheq announced it has entered a partnership agreement with micro payment service Dropp to enable Dropp users to receive and manage payments from ad networks for the use of their private data. You see down here, while advertising networks have historically had many millions of revenue-generating conversions per day, in 2022, new privacy regulations requiring user consent and the death of cookie banners have created a crippling revenue decline that threatens both ad networks and the content publishers that depend on them for revenue. This year begins the post-cookie era, and only 5 to 7% of users are now given their consent for private data usage. To survive, ad networks need to increase the number of users who will give consent while also complying with privacy regulations. Consentive, solves both of these problems by offering users the incentive of share of profits generated by, their private data with a friendly, privacy-compliant user experience that builds trust. This is going to put not only Hedera on the map, in my opinion, but it is going to generate a lot of traction. The notion of ad networks paying micro payments to millions of users is completely new, and we know it is very important to offer a complete end-to-end solution to connect users with the incentive payments they will receive. We are very pleased to partner with Dropp to complete the user incentive payment side of the Consentive ecosystem, and we are going to see a lot more growth within this area. I think that this is going to be an incredible partnership that blossoms into something major on this network. Again, there's a lot in this. For an example, Dropp is a micropayment platform for consumers to make micropayments and receive micro deposits through cash digital assets, and offer from merchants. Dropp's integration with PrivacyCheq will result in a fully functional private data ecosystem that will be a win-win solution for both consumers and the ad networks. We are thrilled that Dropp will be an integral part of the solution that will help save the advertising and publishing businesses with privacy compliance. This service is going to be launched in Q1 of 2023. This is huge. Again, you got to think about it like this. How many ad companies are out there, or ad networks out there, that rely on this revenue? All of them. There's a ton of them. There's millions of them. If you would argue that there's probably actually billions of them, I would completely agree. And when we talk about those major, companies, and when we talk about the amount of volume from those companies, it will be significant. And I think that this is just the beginning of something with Dropp. Dropp has been absolutely killing it for a very long time. We've talked about Dropp in the past. We've talked about them, just recently, I'm pretty sure as well. I think that this is awesome. And again, this is also another product of the grants program. The grants program has absolutely streamlined the ecosystem growth of Hedera. And I do think that this is really going to start putting, Hedera on the map. Just recently, we also got, featured on DappRadar. DappRadar, again, 176.2 thousand followed, account. We are making noise around this space. Hedera is becoming a major leader in this space as well. I do think going forward into the next major cycle, Hedera is going to play an integral part in becoming a major utility gem that nearly everyone in the space is trying to hold in their portfolio. I am utilizing this time properly to not only research this ecosystem, but continue to watch this ecosystem on a day-to-day basis, because I'm going to continue to stack my HBAR bag. Just recently, I made a video talking about how I have a trading bag of HBAR that I'm going to sell at 10 cents to rebuy a little bit lower. Everybody scolded me. You guys don't understand that I hold major bags of HBAR going all the way back to, January and even December of 2020. I mean, I've been holding HBAR for a very long time. I have major bags that I do not plan on selling at all until my $3 to $6 levels are hit. But it doesn't mean that I don't have a trading bag of HBAR either. I have a trading bag of, a lot of assets actually that I utilize on a day-to-day basis to not only make profits, but also build other portfolios around the space. I am still holding my HBAR strong. I will hold my HBAR, like I said, until my levels are targeted. And I do think that this ecosystem is going to continue to blossom. You go over to the use case areas, and if you actually go and look at all the case studies, like these are just some of the case studies that have launched on Hedera. But there is so much more to this, and you could filter this out just by the ecosystems and stuff like that, the focus areas, the function use cases, the network functionality as well. All of this is huge for the Web3 scene. Like, these are all the markets that need to transition into the Web3 scene. There's a lot more other major industries as well. But data and privacy is one that is going to be a major focus, because giving back power to the individuals that utilize the internet on a day-to-day basis that are constantly being, controlled by corporations. You're seeing ads that, particularly, pertain to what you just searched up, what you just looked up, and you're like, how are they getting this information? They are utilizing your data. They are selling your data to advertisers to, funnel you into their payment mechanisms. This is a big deal, right? This is a big issue as well. Now, just imagine earning residual income and passive income from not only monetizing your data, but being in control of your data. That is a huge stepping stone. And Hedera is behind this. This is a huge monumental moment for Web3, and I think that it's great that it is happening on Hedera as well. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.